Shapes and perimeter. Circle. A figure consisting of all points located the same distance from the center. This distance is called the radius. The diameter is the distance across the circle through the center. It is equal to 2 radii. So this is the diameter. And we just call it D. And this is the radius. And we just call it R. So 2 times R equals D. Because when we add the radius plus the radius, we have the diameter, the distance from one side of the circle to the other through the center. And here is the center point, right here. The following shapes are quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals are shapes with 4 sides. This first one is a square. Squares are quadrilaterals with all sides of equal length and 4 right angles. So this is a right angle, this is a right angle, this is a right angle, and this is a right angle. Right angles are 90 degrees. So this side is the same length as this side, is the same length as this side, is the same length as this side. And we're just going to call them S. So S equals S equals S equals S. They're all the same length for a square. Rectangles. Rectangles are quadrilaterals with opposite sides of equal length and 4 right angles. Squares are also rectangles because their opposite sides are of equal length. But we can see rectangles that have opposite sides that are the same length, but the other opposite sides are a different length, as we see illustrated here. This side has one length, and this side has the same length of the opposite side. Let's call this S, B, side B. And then these sides are the same length. Let's call them S sub A, side A. Okay, so side B is equal to side B, and side A is equal to side A. Opposite sides of a rectangle are often called length and width. It doesn't matter which one you call the length and which one you call the width, as long as you define each. Parallelogram. A quadrilateral with opposite sides of equal length. The bottom of the parallelogram is called the base. The height is measured from the base to the opposite side. So this is the height. and we often call that h. And this is the base. This side is the same length as this side. And this side is the same length as this side. We often call the base B. Trapezoid. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel sides. Both the top and bottom sides are called bases. Bases. We label one A and one B. The height is measured from base A to base B. Let's call this one base A, or B sub A. And let's call this base base B, or B sub B. So the height is from base A to base B. This is the height. And as I said before, we usually call it H. Triangle. A triangle is a figure with 3 sides. The bottom is the base. The height is measured from the base to the top point. So in this triangle, this is our base, and the height is from the base to the top point. In this example, this is our base, and then this is our height. Notice that on right triangles that have a right angle here, that we can interchange the base and the height. So we could have called the height the base and the base the height. Perimeter is the distance around the outside of any shape. For example, we use perimeter to find the amount of fencing needed to enclose a yard. Perimeter is found by adding the lengths of the sides. We can shorten the process by using a formula which can be found on your formula sheet. The perimeter of a circle is called the circumference. In example 1, it asks us to find the circumference of the circle. On your formula sheet, you have a formula for the perimeter or circumference of a circle. C equals 2 pi r, or pi 2r. So this is pi times 2 times radius. Let's take 2 times the radius first. Well, in our example picture, we're given the diameter of 8 meters. Well, half the diameter is the radius, 4 meters, but we're still going to double the radius for 8 meters. We actually have another formula for circumference that says C equals pi d, so pi times diameter. But I wanted to show you that 2 times the radius is the diameter, because sometimes we're just given the radius. This time we have been given the diameter, so we're going to go ahead and multiply pi times the diameter of 8 meters. So pi is 3.14, and we're going to multiply that by 8 meters. When we multiply pi by 8 meters, we get a product of 25 and 1200ths meters. So this is our circumference. Please attempt the practice problem on your own by pausing the video now. Notice the problem has been solved for you. Please use this to check your work and correct any errors you might have made. The formula for the perimeter of a square is side plus side plus side plus side, which is the same as 4 times one side. Let's find the perimeter of a square. We have a square with sides of 8.2 yards. All the sides are 8.2 yards. So we're going to multiply 8.2 yards by 4. So this gives us a perimeter of 32.8 yards, or 32 8/10 yards. Please attempt the practice problem on your own by pausing the video now. Notice the problem has been solved for you. Please use this to check your work and correct any errors you might have made. The formula for the perimeter of a rectangle, parallelogram, and trapezoid are similar to finding the perimeter of a square. We just add the lengths of the sides together. In example 3, we have side A of 72 inches, and we have side B of 9 inches. So we're going to have side A times 2, because this one is the same length as this one, plus side B times 2, because there's 2. This one is the same length as this one, and we need to add all the sides together. So the perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. It doesn't matter which one we call the length and which one we call the width, as long as we define each. So let's say side A is the length. So we have 2 times 72 inches, and we'll call side B the width, plus 2 times 9 inches. And we're going to multiply first because of our rules of PEMDAS, and then we will add. So now we have 144 inches plus 18 inches. So the perimeter of this rectangle is 162 inches. The practice problem says, find the perimeter of the rectangle. We're going to find this perimeter in feet. This is important because notice the units are not the same. We have yards and we have feet. so we need to convert everything to feet. Please attempt this practice problem on your own by pausing the video now. Notice the problem has been solved for you. Please use this to check your work and correct any errors you might have made. Example 4 says find the perimeter of the parallelogram. We're going to find the perimeter of this parallelogram in centimeters. So that means we need to convert this to centimeters. Equals how many centimeters? So we have 3 meters multiplied by the ratio of meters to centimeters. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So the meters divide away, and we are left with 300 centimeters. So that means this side, that's opposite, is also 300 centimeters, and this side, that's opposite of this side, is also 2 centimeters. So to find the perimeter, we take 2 times side A plus 2 times side B. Let's call this one side A and this one side B. So this perimeter is 2 times 300 centimeters plus 2 times 2 centimeters. So this is 600 centimeters plus 4 centimeters, and the perimeter is 604 centimeters. What if we wanted to convert back to meters? We found the perimeter in centimeters, but what if we wanted the perimeter in meters? So we would just take 604 centimeters and multiply that by the ratio of centimeters to meters. 100 centimeters to 1 meter. So the centimeters would divide away. 604 divided by 100 is 6 400 meters. The practice example says find the perimeter of a parallelogram. Let's find this perimeter in meters. Please pause the video and attempt this practice problem on your own now. Notice the problem has been solved for you. Please use this to check your work and correct any errors you might have made. Example 5 says find the perimeter of a trapezoid. We're going to find this in feet. So that means we need to convert all the yards to feet and all the inches to feet. So let's cross out all of our old measurements because we're not going to use those numbers anymore. We're only using the new converted measurements in feet. Now we just add up all the sides. 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. Regroup our 1, 30 feet. The perimeter of this trapezoid is 30 feet. The practice problem says, find the perimeter of the parallelogram. We're going to find this in centimeters. Please attempt this practice problem on your own by pausing the video now. Notice the problem has been solved for you. Please use this to check your work and correct any errors you might have made. This concludes your video for shapes and perimeter. Thank you.